Are you not sure how to take that first step? Perfect. This is the best time to take that first step. When you don't start moving, start getting in that momentum, nothing will happen. Not the first step, not the second step, and not the third step for sure. Many times in life, we want to take action in a certain direction and we're not sure how to start, what do we need to do, what's that next step, and whether we think we could or we can't, we're right. And that's something that is all in here in our mind. Now, let's make it a little bit more simple and a little bit more something that you could also do in order to move on to your next step. But before we go there, I want to take you back, maybe it was 10 years ago. So I remember then I wanted to get into shape, and then I was probably, I'm not sure, maybe I was doing like 1 push-up, 0 pull-ups. I was hardly moving, and I really wanted. I thought, it's too hard. It's not for me, and maybe I'm not built the right way. I was born in a certain way that maybe it's not. I would love to do it. I would do it, but I can't because for me it's not a natural thing to get into shape. So I had so many things that were holding me back. And even more than that, after I took that first step, I wanted to start, things went sideways and I didn't even get close to the place that I wanted to get to. I was stuck for like a year or so. I was running just a little bit and I was falling apart. I remember my dream was, to run like 5 miles. That would be like the big thing, to run 5 miles. Now, the main reason I wanted to get into shape was because I wanted to serve other people. I wanted to serve in a place that basically in a unit that protects other people. And in order to get into that unit, I had to get into good shape. What I didn't realize back then is, yes, I had to get into good shape physically, but even more important, I had to get into good shape mentally. So what I started to do, I remember, it was so funny. I used to run at the beginning, I think it was like maybe 200 feet, 300 feet. And with time I increased it, and then I think I got stuck at around like 3 miles and maybe 1 pull-up. No, sorry, 2. I used to do 2 pull-ups. And I was just stuck there for a long time. And I just kept on trying and trying and trying and trying. But every time I kept on trying, number one, I built that, this mental strength of consistency and grit, even when whatever it is you want doesn't come. And number two, I also got stronger physically. Maybe I didn't see it in my eyes, but I kept on getting stronger. Now, it's not that I was, going to that run and saying, oh, perfect, amazing. It's going great, it's going fun. No, it was hard. It was hard, and a lot of times I told myself, no, it's really nice that you have that mission, you want to serve other people. But look, there's so many people doing that. Why do you need to do that? Go and do something else. Go and serve something else. But inside I had that voice that this is my place to serve. This is where I can serve the best. So I always had that in my mind. Always had it over here that the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now is in order to serve someone else, to serve, and it's not one person, it's to serve a whole country. And when I had that in my mind, it helped me to get into that momentum. So doing that first step, going out for that first run, just a few hundred feet, then continuing, and then getting a little bit better, and then stuck, and then falling back. But since I had that why in my head, why am I doing what I'm doing? Who am I? What's the reason I'm doing this? So it helped me get into that momentum of always to try, always to push forward. In order to get into that momentum, I had to start with that first step. So whatever it is you have in life, you need to create that momentum. You need to have that belief to know why you're doing what you're doing. It doesn't just come by itself. You need to have a reason. I know some of you might say, I really have no clue where to start. I really don't know what's that first step I should take. How do I get that momentum going? I'm not sure who should I serve. So I'll start with the serving part. The first person you need to serve is yourself. We are all here in order to serve a purpose greater than ourselves. But in order to do that in the best way, we must start with investing in ourselves. My mentor, Evan Carmichael, has a great book. I really recommend it. It's going to be here on the comments below. I'll send you the link to buy it. It's a must. You know, it doesn't matter what stage of your life. I really recommend that book. But you must do the work. Don't just buy it and leave it on your shelf. Buy the book, implement the homework that is in there, and I could promise you, you'll be in a different place. So in that book, it's called Built to Serve. And he talks about a few steps. You need to find your who, your why, and your how. I'm not going to talk about all that here. You're going to read it in the book. Again, a link is going to be in the bottom. My point is, each and every one of us is here to serve. But you first need to serve yourself. When you'll start serving yourself and investing in yourself, you'll find those qualities, you'll find those answers, what it is you need to do in this world, what it is you want to do. Now, it might change from time to time. Don't just go like this, okay, this is what I'm doing until I die. No, the more you basically dive deep into yourself, you'll find more of the gold that is in you. And when you find more of that gold, you'll find more tools. So whether you're in a place that you have no clue who you want to serve, start with yourself. When you serve yourself, believe me, things will uncover and you'll find gold inside. It would be like, wow. And you know, as time goes on, you'll say, wow, there's so much more to discover in myself. If you do know what you want, perfect. So we understood what we need to do in order to find that serving, whether we know it or not. After we do that, we need to get into that momentum. So for me, like I said, I wanted to go into that unit. I knew who I want to serve. I knew what's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. It was pretty obvious for me. And after I knew that, okay, now step number 2, momentum. Evan also just released a new book on momentum. I really recommend, and as you know, the link is going to be here at the bottom. The fact you know that you want to serve, whether it's yourself at the beginning and then other people, or you want to start, always do both. You have to get momentum. You could stay stuck over here in your head for years, for decades, for life. You sometimes won't start because you don't know how to start. You don't need to know always how to start, because there are many of people, whatever you want to do, that have done that, and you can learn from them. And don't look all the way there to the top. Look at wherever you are right now. Don't compare yourself to other people. Comparisons has no place. The only thing it brings is destructions. Each one of you have, you know, their own path. You have your path, she has her path, and learn from other people. Amazing, but don't compare. Now, going back to that momentum. How do you start? So like we said, you know why you're doing what you're doing. Now, in order to start this, take that small step, and whatever we'll need will uncover. The next step will uncover, whether it's continue that way or going a different route. Momentum is basically the only way you could get wherever you want to get, because, you know, just doing one step is great, but if you stop after that, nothing will happen. So do that one step, and then be aware, what's the next step? When you're aware to that next step, go and do that next step. And don't try to think now what's going to be step 1000. If you're going to climb now Mount Everest, you have no clue what is the next trail. Like, you're starting with the first trail down the mountain, and there's going to be so many different trails you need to change in the middle. Don't try to know already what are those trails right now. Okay? Now just getting that momentum of start walking. Start climbing the mountain. You'll get to wherever you need to get. Now you'll see, okay, do I need to take this trail or that trail? Or maybe I need to climb the rocks here, or maybe I need someone else's help to help me. Don't worry. Life will come and provide you with those answers. Life will provide you with the answers. You'll need to be aware and listen to those answers. And if you can't hear them, go ask someone else for their help. But if you want more details about how to get into that momentum, Evan Carmichael, like I said, my mentor, has a great book. It's called Momentum, and it talks more deeply about how to get in that momentum, because believe is great, but we don't want to stay in believe and get stuck in our head here and not do anything, and then get to our deathbed and say, wait, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I start? There are always reasons why not to start, and if you have 100 reasons, by the way, I could give you another 100. But just start and let life unfold as you go. Start the path, start the momentum, and life will unfold. So if you're asking yourself, what's my next step, and you don't know the answer, option number 1, listen inside. Option number 2, we have internet today. And if you don't have internet, so you're probably not listening to this. So just go Google it, someone that you connect to their values, only that's a really important part. We'll talk about a different video. But someone you connect to their values that achieved whatever you want to achieve, and go learn not what he's doing right now. Go and learn what is his first step, or what's her first step. Okay? After you learn that, be aware for the next step, whether it's from him, from her, whether it's a voice inside. So, the second you get into that momentum, life will unfold and will take you to a place you never expected to go. So, if we're summing it up, let's make it really simple. I like making things simple and you taking action. Number one, what is that belief that you're going to write down, right? That core belief that is going to help you to push through, those challenging times, and not only pushing through, also to create yourself, to find yourself, to be aware of the goal that is inside you. What is that you're built to serve, to do? When you know what you're here for and you know what's the reason that you're going to do what you do, even when it's hard, you'll push through. So understand, if it's right now to serve yourself, I'm all in for it. You always need to serve yourself. But when you get into that larger picture and also understand who else you're here to serve, have that as your guiding light. After you have that, start getting into momentum. So I want you to write down, who are you here to serve? Number one. Number two, please write down, what is that one step that would get you into that momentum? Who is that one person that would get you into that momentum? Again, one field in life. Don't go too far ahead. After you take care of that field, we'll go to the next. So I'd love you to go and do that homework, and I wish you the best. And don't forget, always start with investing in yourself in order for you to help other people. I hope you enjoyed the video and got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. If you haven't yet, please smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, the most amazing things in life are the ones you take for granted.